Hi, mobile game lovers. I hope you are all having a beautiful week out there. Actually, we are really lucky because these weeks there are so many beautiful mobile gaming events like Hyper Game Conference. So I really feel happy and want to thank personally to Hyper Game Conference event organizers for such a beautiful atmosphere and the opportunity to come together and discuss these type of beautiful topics. So I've been following the other speeches and panels either. So it's Ömer from AdsYield. I have been in this industry for 2 years, and AdsYield is 4-year-old company, and especially on mobile gaming. So we have monetization, user acquisition services, as well as our own ad network SDK. So we are connected to many publishers and DSPs. So yeah, in the end of the presentation, you will definitely understand firstly what is monetization, what are the current monetization trends, how is it going on in the industry, and then what is AdsYield actually. So it's going hand in hand. Okay, current monetization trends in mobile gaming. As you all are aware, monetization goes through two sides, in-app purchases and in-app advertising. So on in-app advertising part, we have rewarded interstitial and banner. As you know, banner is non-intrusive on the top side or bottom, so it's definitely nice extra cash for publishers. And rewarded scenarios are just for rewards, so basically watch a rewarded ad for your reward. So it's definitely working like that. And interstitial videos for it's more like on hyper casual. Let's think a runner game. After every level, you'll see a skippable 5 seconds length interstitial video. So right, these three are the combination for in-app advertising. And on in-app purchase side, it's more complicated, definitely, which looks easier but not. So you should be definitely so selective on understanding your user profile, what they actually do through analytics or A/B tests, and what their motivation is. And last but not least, you should be the one creating pricing and value. So um, you should be showing it. Here is the pricing, but it's so valuable for you, like better than this, etc. So you should be telling that without speaking to your audience, which is the most challenging side of in-app purchases. All right, so right, who spends in a free game? Like, why really? The answer is very simple. So it's all about internalization. When you feel that, oh yeah, this game is just amazing, I want to keep playing, keep continuing. So then more playtime, more retention, maybe some spending in a purchase, and then addiction. Then you bring your friends, maybe play together, and then it's a habit. Oh god, like then you have been playing for maybe 5 years, who knows. So for example, I play War and Order, a city building game which I play with friends. It's been years, and same case for Clash Royale. I also have been playing it for many years, I think 6 years right now. So it's also pretty tricky because we have a clan. You have a pretty nice account that you need to always upgrade. Basically, I've been playing for 6 years. It's still not maximized. So, right, basically, it is the user who spends in the game. Basically, I every month spend for Clash Royale, get subscription, and I pay for War and Order for extra packages, etc. So it is the audience. Basically, in-app advertising is basic. Like the logic is very simple, and the players are also pretty relaxed against that. So they are just fast, and when it's related, like rewarded ads, they just say that okay, like let's watch one rewarded, it won't kill us, or it's going more unconscious, like automatic. So you are used to the ads, as we are all used to that. So you just click and you wait it to end. So yeah, it's the 95% of in-app advertising side. And for system 2, actually the right part is in-app purchase. So it's more rational. Like it's going slow, it's more about logic. You are lazier to decide that. So it's just indecisive. Like you think again and again, oh, shall I spend this? Oh, it looks expensive, or but it's a good deal. So like, oh, these type of thoughts will kill you, believe me. Okay, so then what? Then we should be understanding game economy itself before everything, like even before monetization, we can say so. So it's just like a pool problem. Basically, very basically, purchase and rewards should be equal to expenditures. Basically, as you can imagine, if purchase and rewards are like much more than expenditures, then it will be like, okay, I finished the game in 1 day or maybe 3 days. Like, after that, they'll just delay the game. So why should they keep playing or rushing? So but the opposite is also tricky, which is I think more tricky because they would delay the game without even finishing because it's inflation. Yeah, we can call so. Basically, expenditures are so high, but purchase and rewards are not enough to keep up with that. So then you say that okay, like I won't be able to make it. I will just delete the game. Sorry. So yeah, then they'll be churning. So retention is king, definitely. But of course, here is the trick. It should be going with playtime also. And if you can manage to catch a nice retention through your players, and when they come every day, they can play a nice amount of time, then you will just make more money. Because as I explained before, monetization is only possible through a successful retention and playtime. So without these two, even the most successful monetization departments won't bring you cash because your game can't hold the players inside. Then there is no logic of rushing so much on monetization side. So first, game itself. That's what I really wanted to point out again and again. So let's quickly understand what can be the currencies inside the game. Basically, we will make each of them valuable, I mean cash, through either in-app advertising or in-app purchase. So hard currency is just cash actually. So it can be called a gem or star, it depends. And soft and medium are the others. So it's like gold and coin, etc. So uh, one is let's make it basic. Hard is cash currency. Soft is basically the currency that you get after every level, maybe, or whatever you do in the game. And medium is more like either collectible or secondary side. So yeah, in general, there are either two or three currencies. So here are these three. And in the right part, we have energy, just like refilling your energy, and feature. So it can be changing from game to game, but features. And social sides, it's also tricky, change from game to game, but I think it's one of the most important sides of monetization. So basically, if you can create a social currency which players need to act together to each other or together. So it's also beautiful. And last but not least, events. So basically, through events, you can also provide some currencies. But yeah, the most important side of this page is you should make money all through these currencies. So are you out of currency? It can be medium soft hard, or it can be out of energy, feature, event participation, or social side. So definitely use them wisely. So how to trigger in-app purchases? Actually, we should be aware that here you should compare the pricing for players. So as you see in the left part, like 50 is just same price with the other. So I will try. So it's a beginner's bundle, and it will not be here tomorrow. So I'll just check it out. So it's definitely working like that. So you should be triggering what to pick from purchasing side. Another example, so people will be more have more tendency to buy more, so it's definitely advantage for publisher, more money in one time. So as you all know, actually monetization is just about player psychology. It's not like another thing, right? So I know it's not the classic current monetization trend, but for me, for many years, these seven uh, tactics, basically seven points, are the most important side of monetization. But we cannot name them as current, but most important. So let's go one by one. Avoid loss. Actually, for watching any advertisement or in-app purchase, you should be urged to avoid from loss. So you will do your best to make it happen, right? So that's why it's the most important psychological side. Incrementalism. So if you see the progress, then you're happy. You want to explore more, you want to dig in, and in the end, you will be happy with your result. But in some games, especially hyper casual games, sometimes you don't feel the incrementalism, like the gradual step by step improving. So it's really serious for monetization, because if you don't give that feeling, why should players watch an ad or make in-app purchases? Envying. It's mostly for social games, but still any non-offline games are fine with that. Basically, people have tendency to compare themselves with other players. Am I doing good? Who is the best player right now? How can I get better? Or how can I get the best spot? Or just like Diablo Immortal, for example, how much did the number one spend, for example? Basically, the question is how much would I need to spend to get the first rank? So it's going like that, basically comparing. It's so tricky. Feeling special. So you can be triggering this special feeling through your players with different gifts, maybe chests, presents, etc. So basically it's you as a publisher to take care of your players for making them feel special. Scarcity. We discussed inflation in the beginning of this monetization slide. You remember, right? So basically, you should be creating a bit inflation, not so much, not less. It's very tricky, but if you can find the exact spot on inflation, they will definitely watch more ads or make more in-app purchases to fill that gap, because as we discussed, if you give everything for free and it won't be fun, people will finish the game in one day. So no, no, no. So triggering, it's another scenario. Basically, to make players get motivated to the goal, as a publisher, you should be encouraging players to go more. So maybe sometimes giving for free, but you should have the scenario with the ad or in-app purchase anyway. So you can make many A/B testings or different scenario plannings. So, but still, in the end, you should be finding trigger plans for uplifting the revenue. It's the last, but definitely not the least, addiction. Some people call it as internalization, some people call it as illness, but still, in the end, if you play more, spend more time and cash, then it will be harder to delay that game and give up. So I think it's both, from my case, both for Clash Royale and War and Order. So right now, I think it's definitely hard for me to delay these games because I have been playing for years. I know everything. I feel good while playing. I am socially active. So now, like, I really don't want to quit yet, right? So, apart from the basics, right now I want to discuss four main sides of monetization quickly. Basically, I will start from right two parts because they are less about monetization, but you should definitely know about them. So, platform based is more like missed play. So, it's play to earn side. Basically, you can download any app from there, then you will be quickly uh, getting some units and cashback from there. It's latest monetization platform Currencies. It's more about user acquisition side, but as a publisher or developer, you should definitely know that. And ad unit based side, it's also play to earn through rewarded ad. So, for example, right now AdJo has a playtime unit. So, through their rewarded ad units, they are integrated to many different apps, etc. They make both publishers and the player earn. So, it's also another monetization strategy. But yeah, we should be right now going through traditional and immersive ads parts because my time should be going through current monetization trends. So let's go with the current updates about traditional advertising. As you know, these three are the main sites as rewarded interstitial banners. And right now, basically this year, for hyper casual games, interstitial videos are getting the more than 50% for ad revenue, basically after every level or every 30 seconds. So interstitial always. So rewarded is just for rewards, but still nice money because ECPMs are higher and highest among these three. And banner is the less. Sometimes some games even don't have any banners. So that's why it can be even lower in general, but it's a general margin. So from hyper casual monetization, I definitely must say that live ops is not working very well because people are more tendency to watch an ad instead of in-app purchase. Like in-app purchases maybe less than 3 or 4% in general. So basically, as your monetization side, um, you should be having a mediation. So you can only do all these operations through a mediation, which can be like Iron Source, Apple Max, etc. We will come to that later. And inside the mediation, you should be integrating all ad networks. So it's the most important part. Basically, higher competition for ad networks, higher CPM. Then basically, after you combine that with high retention, high playtime, you will have higher eCPMs, then basically in-app advertising will be love for you. So traditional programmatic scenario is like this. I think everyone should be understanding this roadmap. So basically the money flow comes from advertiser. Think about any advertiser, like it can be even Nike, Adidas, etc. So they get connected to DSPs and they basically put in what they want with that budget. So through DSP, they connect to ad exchange platform, which can be called as ad server, mediation, etc. All these platforms. So at the other side, there's a publisher. You can think your company or any big publisher, for example. um, on publisher side, they are connected to supply side platform, SSP. So through that, they are connected to the mediation also. So basically, very basically, through a mediation platform, uh, both advertisers and publishers get what they want. So it's definitely programmatic, like it's happening in the milliseconds. So yeah, it looks simple, but it's much more complicated. But I really wanted you to get general understanding here. And another hot topic, mediation wars. I'll concurrently discuss this. As you know, like the biggest are Iron Source, AppLovin, Max, AdMob, Unity, Fiber Favorite, etc. But still, there are more like Tapjoy, Maison, Accus, Tapon, AppDeal, even more. But I always get the question as which mediation I should use, which mediation I shouldn't use, like these type of questions. So actually, there is no right answer to that. I mean, not a single answer, because if we had, everyone would use that single mediation, and then others would, go bankrupt or like just sell their companies. So it's not working like that. Basically, each of them is working. So each of them may have different deals for you as a publisher and also different performances. So we always suggest publishers to try, test. So everywhere, like even for monetization, user acquisition, A/B testing. So here the same, go for A/B testing and see the results. So yeah, definitely you should be studying a bit more on mediations, and yeah, you will see the differences on performance. So, on immersive ad side, actually, it's another word. Uh, but before this immersive ads, I will just add that, right, current trends are always a milestone in the industry. So, uh, personally, I wanted to have a personal comment. We'll be seeing more radical developments in the upcoming months. There may be even bigger surprises waiting for us. So, for example, Iron Source merged with Unity. AppLovin, acquired Mopap before. So even AppLovin wanted to merge with Unity but rejected. So, like, really bigger surprises are waiting for us. So the thing publishers should not forget is that they should always be optimizing the ad network competition through their mediation. So some mid or small scale publishers just set up, integrate, and they think that like the mediation is done, but it's definitely not like that. So I really want to make it clear that this business is like capitalist system. The more competition there is, the more advantages the consumer, I mean publisher, same time. So you should keep this ad network competition at a high level, and mediation selection should be supported by this study, A/B testing. So then you will have a nice ad revenue. So even at the same case, we are optimizing our own SDK. So according to these updates, trends, mediations, every week, like we are optimizing it. So the industry is changing so quickly. So yeah, I wanted to make here clear. And now, last but not least, immersive website, non-intrusive in-game platforms. So basically, there are also many big companies right now, but I won't give names specifically. So here the trick is it's not pop-up, it's not intrusive. Basically, while playing, you just see in the screen, it can be billboard, wall, etc. So you will make money without interrupting your players. So here we have just like the other classic monetization scenarios, ad requests, paid impressions, fill rate, viewability, and eCPM. You can have many more ad requests and paid impressions, but here the trick is fill rate. So you can get more requests, but can you fill what is your fill rate? So maybe it's for some publishers it can be 2-3%, but maybe much higher for others. So basically, then after nice viewability and fill rates, you can have a big numbers on the screen as revenue and eCPM. So yeah, in the end, I am definitely glad to be here, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. So yeah, waiting for your questions.